Hello there friends and welcome. For today's special Pathfinder Enhanced build we have the Aasimar only archetype, Purifier Oracle. And for once I've decided to fully make a complete tank build. You'll easily achieve higher than 100 armor class, which is actually way higher during combat, for close to 140 even, thanks to all of our stacking buffs and abilities. Plus you won't just be about tanking, through the Angel merge you'll also get to deal quite a lot of damage in melee with many attacks per round, great critical range, and all of the amazing Angel Mythic spells. For not only the ultimate buffs, including even a self-revive, but of course extreme orbital strike damage that bypasses any immunity. Now as a true tank, this character isn't just about armor class, because you'll also be stacking other layers of defense, such as temporary hit points, amazing saving throws to make any save in the game, and even permanent 50% concealment, which thanks to the mind blank buff, is not bypassed by true seeing anymore. You'll even have amazing spell resistance at around 43 to 45, even immunity to almost everything that matters from angel buffs, like disease, poison, ability damage, ability drain, fatigue and exhaustion, plus critical hits and sneak attacks. Amusingly enough, you'll even be able to become the ultimate dragon tank, thanks to having access to the best dragon-shaped spells even as an oracle, as early as chapter 3, for even higher AC, higher than 140. So without further ado, let us get into our Aasimar Purifier tank build. Alright, so the Purifier archetype is kinda underwhelming, I'm afraid. As a matter of fact, you do lose a lot, 3 revelations in total, and some of the most important ones because they are at the very early and also mid-game. You'll have 1 revelation at character creation, and the other 2 will only come at 15+. What you gain in return, I'm afraid, is not really comparable. At level 5 you have the Sacred Scourge ability, which works similar to the Cleric Channel Energy, and you can use this to damage evil outsiders, so demons. The problem is, the damage simply will not be enough to keep up with the demons' hit points value as they get stronger through the chapters. The Sin Eater ability at level 11 is kinda useless too. You can dispel a curse, enchantment or emotion effect, but you know, by the point you get it, you have spells that can do the same. As far as your last unique feature, Celestial Armor, well, you get heavy armor proficiency for free, and also the fighter's armor training ability. The problem is, this is also pretty underwhelming. Oracles are a charisma-based class, which means when it comes to tanking, they are simply way better off tanking without armor. Anyways, because of how strong Oracle is as a whole, especially when merged with Angel, even if Purifier isn't really optimized, this build will still be very powerful. For your Aasimar heritage, go with either Angel Kin for the bonus to strength and charisma, plus being able to cast Lesser Restoration once per day on demand is pretty useful too. Or, and my preferred choice is here, Muse Touched. You don't get a bonus to strength but to dexterity instead. The true main benefit is the ability to cast the highly useful Glitter Dust spell for free, once per day. This is one of the best early spells in the game and actually scales quite well too, because it's not only an area of effect spell, also bypasses the enemy's spell resistance and has a pretty crippling effect. If the enemy fails a will saving throw, they'll become blinded, which means they have reduced AC and also way lower chances of hitting you. Considering this Oracle Purifier is going to be pretty much my first true tank character, without relying on pets, I think Glitter Dust overall is way better, once again because of the big synergy it has with tanking. For background, this is going to depend on which weapon types you want to use. It's very important that you build this character with a one-handed weapon, because some of your defensive abilities that increase AC will only work with that. If you go two-handed or if you wear a shield, you'll lose their benefit. And for this, you can go with either Regional and Shackles Corsair for scimitars, which have amazing critical range, or there's the classic Warrior of the Lenorm Kings, or Craftsman and Lumberjack, both give proficiency to almost all of the axes in the game. And this is of course for the Gravesinger axe, which by the way, you can actually choose which axe type it will become when crafting it. Since we must have a one-handed weapon, go with Battle Axe instead of Great Axe. For your ability points, well, Charisma is our main stat, as it is directly tied to not only spell DC, higher spell slots, and even our armor class as a tank character. I would also start with 14 strength, because well, we have to attack. Tanking isn't just about defense, you'll still get your weapon hits too. Strength is very easy to increase through all sorts of different buffs we'll be getting, especially the size buffs. Plus the Angel Merge will add a lot of extra attack bonus to us. For Dexterity, since we have a bonus to it, I would just leave it at 14. Then also 14 Constitution, because well, we are a tank. And higher hit points always help, just in case. Intelligence and Wisdom don't really matter for this build. You can also dump them if you want, to start with higher Dexterity. As far as your skills, well, since we have amazing Charisma, Persuasion is the way to go. Plus we also get a racial bonus to it, and your Aasimar character will be able to make all of the dialogue checks in the game regarding Persuasion. Use Magic Device can always help, but we don't necessarily need many points into this. Something like 10 is more than enough, as the rest you'll be getting through our high Charisma. For the last skill point, I would just go with Mobility. You also have a ratio if you went with Muse-touched Aasimar, plus having a few extra mobility can help when increasing your armor class through fighting defensively. Alright, as far as your feats, this is going to be very different than the normal ones I often choose. After all, we are a full tank character. For level 1, be sure to pick Dodge. For your Oracle's Curse, I would not pick Powerless Prophecy, not on a tank character. While it is true that eventually you can just cast Freedom of Movement to become immune to the staggered debuff, for the early game until around level 8 or so, you won't have this, which means your tanking character will always start battle staggered, which is super annoying. You won't even be able to properly move to the enemies. I would just go with one of the inoffensive curses, that is, they don't have any great benefit, but they also don't have a huge downside. Go with either Plagued or Demonic and Hellbound. Anyways, for me it is Plagued. For your mystery, since we want a tank oracle, well, even if we wanted another oracle, I would still go with Nature, because it has by far the most useful revelations of them all, plus some pretty useful spells too, like Bark Skin. Anyways, the most important part about Nature for a tank is the Nature's Whisper ability. With this, we can add our Charisma modifier to Armor class instead of Dexterity. It will still show as Dexterity in your character sheet, but it's actually Charisma. Now for your spells, please remember that I already have a complete Best Divine Spells list you can find, linked to the side here or in the video description, so I'll just keep it simple and short for now. Shield of Faith for more AC, and Blast for higher party-wide AB early on. For Deity, any that allows the Lawful Good alignment. And then be sure to pick Lawful Good, you have to be Lawful Good. For level 2 we already want to multiclass to max out our AC. And for that we want Monk, thus the Lawful Good alignment, and Scaled Fist. As early as level 1 you'll get to add your Charisma modifier to Armor class, and this will stack with the Nature's Whisper revelation we just picked at Oracle 1. So just at level 2 we already have twice our Charisma modifier added to our AC. This does require you to be unarmored, however, even without a shield. While delaying your spellcaster progression as an Oracle is somewhat annoying because I already learned spells one level later than clerics, through the Angel Merge will supercharge our spell progression anyways later on. Plus, you know, if you aren't a pet, you have to pay for tanking, I'm afraid. For your free feat as a monk, Crane Style, to further enhance our AC. This requires you to be fighting defensively, which is an ability all characters start out with, regardless of class or race, so be sure to always leave it on for your tank character. For level 3 onwards, I would resume progression into Scaled Fist. Now, you can also go for a dip in Paladin, just one level, as it will grant you the Smite Evil feature, which lets you apply your Charisma modifier 3 times to AC in a way, but only against the Smite Evil target, as you'll get a deflection bonus to AC equal to your Charisma mod. I think this is a bit overkill, plus it delays your Oracle spellcasting progression by even more. Not to mention the fact Smite Evil is pretty limited in uses, you would only have like 1 or 2 to a ring you can get later on. And honestly, Angel Oracles have a lot of extra deflection to AC anyways. I know some people also like going even further for 2 levels of Paladin, so you can get Divine Grace to add your Charisma modifier to saving throws. I would not do it. Once again, mostly because I don't want to delay my spellcasting progression that much. Spells are a massive part of most builds, especially this one because we can merge with Angel. Plus, as an Angel Oracle, you can already add your Charisma twice to saving throws anyways. First through the Bestow Grace Paladin spell, which Scylla for example can easily cast on you, and also the Bestow Grace of Champion spell. Also remember, the more classes you pick that aren't Oracle now, the longer it will take you to get the extremely powerful level 10 Angel Mythic spells. For level 3, go with Improved Initiative. There is a reason for this. If your character doesn't roll high on initiative, they will be caught flat-footed by enemies. Flat-footed means you start with way lower AC, and as a tank, we can't afford that. Even just one round or some enemy attacks, while being flat-footed, can be pretty crippling. At level 4, increase Charisma, which is also what you should increase on all of the other levels. For more spells, sadly we don't get the healing spells for free, as a Purifier Oracle, so I would just pick Cure Light Wounds here. It can help as a spontaneous caster, at least for the early game. For level 5, Outflank, it is a must-have for pretty much any melee build, including tank builds because of how huge the effect is. And this will highly contribute to making your character not just a tank, but also one that is capable of dealing damage. For your first level 2 spell, I would go with Bow Strength. Overall, it is one of the most useful early level buffs, even if it gets outclassed later on. For level 6, Divine Favor, once again to increase your damage and attack roll side. And then Lesser Restoration, always a great pick for spontaneous casters. For level 7, Crane Wing to increase your AC even further by a huge +4 dodge bonus. It does require you to fight with one hand free, which is why we went with one-handed weapons. And then as a first level 3 spell, Arcane's Aura. Then at level 8, pick Unbreakable Heart to remove confusion, which is very annoying. You can also delay Divine Favor for now and pick Unbreakable Heart earlier for the very annoying Vescavor Swarm area, as they have confusion abilities. And then the 8th spell to provide temporary hit points as another source of defensive layers. It's not just about AC. Stuff like Protection from Alignment Communal, because of the extremely low duration, I'd much rather cast from scrolls, which are pretty cheap. And then, well, you have two choices here for another level 3 spell. Animate That can create some disposable meat shield summons, although it doesn't really fit an Oracle Purifier thematically. I would just go for Prayer, a pretty good party-wide buff. For level 9, go with Combat Expertise, which will increase your AC even further. It kinda works like Power Attack and Piranha Strike, except you trade AB for higher AC instead of extra damage. It is directly tied to your base attack bonus though, which is why I didn't pick it early. For your first level 4 spell pick, well, always Crusader's Edge, it is a must-have buff on any melee ally, including pets. Does not work for ranged attacks, however. Your other level 2 spell can be anything at this point, might as well pick Cure Moderate Wounds. And then either Magical Vestment or remove Curse. Then go for Death Ward here, great for spontaneous casters. For our level 11 feat, Improved Critical and then either Scimitar or Battle Axes. For your first level 5 spell, Spell Resistance is amazing for Merged Angels, because you can increase your party's spell resistance by way higher than other characters. At around this level, level 10, you will already be merging with Angel. If you're wondering what that does, I already have a guide explaining it all, you can check here. Merging with Angel also allows your character to pick a lot of extra spells known through Mythic progression, which also bypasses one of the main weaknesses of Oracles or Sorcerers, the low amount of spells they know per level. You can pick anything else here for another level 2 spell, and I would just go with Magical Vestment now, and either Freedom of Movement or Greater Magic Weapon. Then choose Breath of Life here, because it can help revive characters without having to waste expensive scrolls like Raise Dead. For level 13, well, from now onwards, I'd say you have a few different ways of progressing this build feats-wise. If you want more melee power, as we have enough AC as is, pick Combat Reflexes to further empower your attacks of opportunity, since we only pick Ever Ready kinda late. On the other hand, you can also get started on the Shatter Defenses package, so Weapon Focus now, then Dazzling Display at 15 and Shatter Defenses at 17. Later than most of my other builds, but like I said, we are a tank, so it doesn't come for free, I'm afraid, unless you were a pet. You can also pick Crane Riposte, which I don't find that useful. Anyways, I'll be going for Combat Reflexes now, and then the Shatter Defenses package afterwards. For level 6 spells, always heal first, then either Freedom of Movement or Greater Magic Weapon here, and you might as well pick Burst of Glory here for a very nice party-wide buff. And then Eagle Soul, a very powerful self-buff for good aligned characters, capable of increasing not only your AC by a very rare Sacred boost, but even your strength too. Persuasion checks and initiative as well, kinda stacked. Well, from level 15 onwards, the Shatter Defenses package, because why not? At this point we can. But like I said before, you can also pick Crane Riposte now. Level 7 Divine spells are kinda poor overall, but at this point you already have the very useful Angel level 7 spells to make up for that. You can pick Bestow Grace of the Champion here to add your Charisma modifier twice to saving throws. Now, at level 16, you'll finally get your second revelation as a Purifier. You have two ways of progressing now. You can pick a pet here, yes, even at level 16 a pet is still OP, or through Mythic progression, pick second Mystery at around Mythic 5, and then Waves, which qualifies you at this level for the Ice Armor Revelation. This will increase your armor by a huge amount at around plus 12 at max level. It does not stack with Braces of Armor, but has a much bigger value, at least at this point in the game. As I've already leveled my character to Mythic 5 to qualify for Ice Armor, I have extra spells known by merging with Angel, so just get them from here. The other ones don't matter that much. For level 6 spells, be sure to pick Greater Dispel Magic too, since we have a big boost to caster level from Angel, and Inspiring Recovery can help, as it works in a similar way to Breath of Life. Hellfire Ray you can get to a ring. For level 17, Dazzling Display, and then the Frightful Aspect buff. For another level 8 spell, Shield of Law can grant your whole party immunity to mind-affecting abilities from chaotic enemies like demons. But your Angel Halo can do the same pretty much eventually. Still, the other ones don't make much of a difference. Then Shatter Defenses at last at level 19. And of course Mass Heal. As for your last revelation, honestly you might as well go with the Animal Companion, even if super late, because nothing we have left will make as much of an impact, and just pick the Wolf here. Any level 8 spell, and Winds of Vengeance. Alright, now let us cover Mythic progression for our Oracle Purifier. Well, as a melee build, even as a tank, Close to the Abyss is still the best for the extra gore attack. You can also go with Close to the Heavens if you prefer, for some healing rays. For Mythic level 1, as a tank character, I really think it is in your best interest to go with Last Stand. Especially for the main character, after all, if we die, it's a game over. With this you can keep on fighting for an extra 2 rounds. As you become immune to damage for the duration, it really is one of the best Mythic abilities. And since we are a tank, why not? For Mythic level 2, as with any Mythic merged build, spells are part of what makes you so good, so Abundant Casting. Then for Mythic 3, Improved Abundant Casting. At this level you also get to merge with Angel, so we get all of the nice Angel spells, and even way more normal spell picks for our Oracle. For Mythic 4, honestly extra Mythic, and the last Abundant Casting ability, because at this point you can already achieve level 9 Angel spells even as an Oracle. For your Angel Sword abilities, please remember that I already have a complete Angel guide, so once again I'll keep this short now. Anyways, Everlasting Flame, otherwise you won't have high duration. For Mythic level 5, you have two choices. You can pick second Mystery now, and then Waves. First, for the Sea Mantle spell, which you will be able to cast at this point, and it can highly increase your AC even further by plus 8. But most importantly for the Ice Armor Revelation, as I've covered in the normal progression. If you don't care for it, go with Battle instead, for other powerful revelations. As for your first Angel Halo, Piercing Rays. Now from Mythic 6 onwards, you can further specialize this build in two ways. If you want as high duration for your buffs as possible, then go with extra Mythic, Enduring spells, and then at 7, Greater Enduring spells. If you want more martial power, so for more melee damage, pick Mythic Critical and Scimitar or Battle Axe now. Then Abolish Guile. At Mythic 7, Ever Ready, and Solar Winds. At Mythic 8, I would go for Mythic Initiative, just in time for the Demon Lord battles, and we don't want to be caught flat-footed. Plus the highly useful and extremely overpowered even Speed of Light ability, for casting many spells as swift actions, and 2 additional attacks, 1 over haste. As for Mythic 9, well, if you went with a pet, Mythical Beast. If you didn't go with Waves, you can also get Archmage Armor here, even earlier if you prefer, as this does work from Scrolls and Potions of Mage Armor, to make up for the lower armor AC you'll have. And as always, you can even fit Enduring spells here, if you didn't pick it before, and then pick Greater Enduring later on. It really is up to you. Then either Burning Bright for more damage or Flame of Life for more healing. As for Mythic level 10, you can go with anything you want. Now let us cover gear for our Angel Purifier. For the amulet, as always, Valexias, we want to stack as high charisma as possible, for triple charisma modifier to it, and saving throws as well for double. You can't actually wear any armor, not even Haramaki's, otherwise you will take a massive penalty to AC. For robes, ultimately the Robe of the Seven Sins, to increase your caster level by +3. If you want to fight while in dragon form, you can also use the Shroud of Eternal Hunger. This is a Crusade relic, by the way. For belts, at first belts that increase strength, strength and constitution, and all of them, even. But there's also the Lizard Tail belt for the dragon form, as it will increase your AC by a massive amount. For gloves, ultimately embroidered gloves, as they grant a very high +3 luck bonus to AC and saves. You can't really find something as high anywhere else. It is pretty late game though, pretty much for the last of Aurelius' quest at chapter 5. For boots, you want Ronag's Sacrifice, even if dexterity isn't our main stat. These boots will still increase your AC further when under the haste effect, for some nice stacking bonuses. For the helm slot, at first had Bands of Charisma, ultimately had Bands of Mental Perfection, Darkness Caress being the best of them all for +8. For the glasses slot, I would just go for the Goggles of Piercing Gaze as usual. The bonus to Persuasion is great for this character, and so is the Insight to attack and damage rolls against demons. For cloaks, you have two choices: Cloaks of Resistance with the highest modifier, to further increase your saving throws, or the Angel Mythic Cloak, if you want to increase the damage of your angel spells by an additional 2 dice. For rings, since we have amazing saving throws, the Ring of Evasion, Enlivening Leadership can help early on too for the bonus to Persuasion and skill checks for party members. There's also the Red Salamander Ring to add some powerful fire spells for free to you, such as Hellfire Ray, Firestorm, and Fiery Body. And remember, as a merged angel tank, you are still quite competent at spellcasting too. Lastly, the Bane of Spirit Ring is always a must-have, not so much for your angel because they have an ability to convert all their damage into holy, but definitely for the rest of your party, especially since as an angel, the hit points cost is super low, just around 1 point at max level, from the Solar Winds Halo ability. For braces, you don't really have that many good ones. For the start of the game, just keep the Engraved Lucky Bracers for the very rare +1 luck bonus to AC, perfect for a tank. Later you can trade them for Braces of Armor, but you can also just cast Mage Armor for +4, so I would only use these ones after they become +5 and later. But eventually, if you went with the Waves, Oracle Mystery, and the Ice Armor Revelation, you can completely ignore these bracers. There's also Clear Purpose if you want to cast some powerful healing spells without provoking attacks of opportunity, and later on the Braces of Abrupt Onslaught, as at chapter 5 you gain sneak attack for free anyways through a skill book. Alright, now let's discover weapons and Quickslots. As I said, you can go with either the Gravesinger as a battle axe, so one-handed, or scimitars. For scimitars, I already have a complete guide with their full progression, you can check here to the side or in the pinned comment, but Down Flawless Kiss is by far the best. Don't forget the Fiery Spellweaver Quarterstaff to increase your caster level by another +1. As for Quickslots, it's our usual package for spellcasters. Lesser Extend and Normal Extend rods to increase the duration of your buffs. Since we are a merged angel, we also get the OP angel damage spells, thus metamagic rods that increase their damage, such as Devouring Lust for free maximize, and Grandmaster's Rod for both empower and maximize at the same time. Also combined with the Greater Quicken metamagic rod, so you can cast 2 spells per round no matter their level, even great for healing like Mass Heal. The Dragon Familiar Jarsig Axe for extra damage, we'll just convert this to holy anyways, even without the Bane of Spirit Ring. As always, the Signet of House Vespertilio to increase any skill of choice, and since we have used Magic Device, you can use any scroll in the game. Transformation can help a lot since this character won't have 20 base attack bonus otherwise, for higher damage, attacks, and even higher combat expertise AC bonuses. But there's a lot of other stuff you can use. Well, alright friends, so this was it for my first true tank Aasimar Merged Angel build. If you found this guide useful, please remember to like, subscribe, and also consider becoming a channel member, as your support is highly appreciated and help keeps the channel going. Thank you for watching and see you next time, friends.